Audra Slinkey. Audra's launched the home staging resource 4 years ago and revolutionized the idea of online staging and redesign training as we know it. She was the first staging training company to emphasize website presence on the internet, and she's actually provided those services in-house for all of her students. Her HSR certification training program has been the first to go through the RESA accreditation process and sets the standard for home staging training companies to follow. When there was no open association for our industry, she led the charge in creating one and has worked as Vice President of RESA, helping to unify our industry. And please give a very warm welcome for Audra Slinkey.
Thank you, Shel. Whoops, can you hear me? Oh, perfect. All right. I just want to thank Shel again. I mean, this is really pretty incredible, isn't it? I mean, you did a great job, and Shel is my kindred spirit, I feel, in this industry, because she really has a heart for everybody in it, a heart for the industry, and she's just fantastic. So, good. All right. So I'm going to, since this is after lunch, it's a little tricky, I'm going to try and keep it as interactive as possible. And I'm going to go through a lot of material. In fact, there's a handout that you guys all have on your table. Just a small 3-page handout. And it's not enough for you just to take that and go take a nap. You're going to need to hear this. Anyway, so if you would grab that, it's a lot of material. But I'm going to try and race through it and try and talk about what, I mean, you've already heard such amazing speakers, amazing stuff, but I'm going to try and make it, put it in a practical way to your website, which is kind of your client's first impression. So that's kind of my goal today. And like I said, I'm going to try and keep it interactive to keep you awake. I'll take questions at the end of the session. Hopefully I can be on time and hit that. But, yeah.
Not all of us have got a handout.
Connie? Sorry, I'm glad you reminded me. Good. Connie, you can get that. Thanks. All right. Put your hand up if you didn't get a handout, and she will get that to you. Great. Every one of us has a life before staging story. And it's just so cool to hear. I mean, just the amazing backgrounds that are in this room. And my background is, my life before staging was, I was in internet marketing, research, and recruitment when the internet first kind of came on the scene. And I was kind of the expert. I had an internet research recruitment company that actually would show Fortune 500 companies how to find, attract, how to use the internet, how to use technology to not only find people for their businesses, but market their websites to those people. And so that was kind of my thing. I loved the internet. And then I had kids. And I didn't want to work as much at first when they were babies. A lot of work. I know you guys are moms out there. So I have to put this screen in here because these are my two boys. But what's really fun, I don't know if you can see the comic, but it's a Help Wanted comic. The parents are seeing their kids playing video games, and they're envisioning, help wanted for video gamers in the future. I mean, and I guess the thing is, life before staging for us, isn't it cool? Isn't the world a great place for us now that we have found what we love to do? I mean, and that's what this is, taking our passions and making it happen for us. And so much of us focus, we love that passion, and that's where our heart is, and that's where we're studying, and we're learning more. Decorating, design, staging, we want to know every single aspect of that. But some of the areas that we tend to neglect, the business side, it's the website and marketing. And how many of you guys, when you got into this industry, got in because you love to sell and cold call? That's a cricket. I hear it every time. And that's okay. So my goal is that today you'll walk away with tips for your website so that you're getting calls in. People are calling you. There's so much more control when you're getting calls in than when you're having to make those kind of calls out. So this is foundational marketing, and I like to say, and people know me in terms of the training, this is the kind of marketing that works 24/7 for you, meaning it works while you sleep. It's not a phone call that you make to hang up with the agent and you never hear from them again. And it starts in all the fundamentals, and it really starts with that website. So, a few little things. I want a little show of hands. How many of you guys have a website? Yay, okay, keep your hands up, All right, need to edit and make pages. Yeah, it's tricky. It's pretty new to folks. Okay. How many of you on your website have a cool way to counsel your clients? Maybe it's a 12-step case staging checklist. Something that they would be interested in besides, or I should say newsletter. Maybe if a newsletter's not good. Let's keep that up too, because those are good too, but we're going to talk about that. How many of you guys have testimonials on your site? Okay. And how many of you guys have a blog that's attached to your site? So we're going to talk about this thing. They've been touched upon already, but I do want you to see kind of, how many of you guys have your social media icons on your site? That's another thing I forgot. Yeah, this is great. All right. So that touches on a lot of different ways to touch clients. It's not just, social media, it's email, it's being there, it's getting connected, and we're going to talk about all of those things. All right. So you guys all know why you need a website, but let me just do a little refresher, because sometimes I get this, I still do. I don't need a website, I'm a networking guru, and that could be true, because networking is part of what we do too. But here's the point to your website. Marketing, the definition of marketing, or what I like to say the definition of marketing is getting people who have a specific need or a problem. What's their problem, guys?
They want to sell their home.
Yeah, they can't sell their homes. Okay, they have a problem, they all do. To know, like, and trust you. And the speakers were great at talking about, being credible, being the expert, finding your niche, knowing your target markets, and then reaching them. But your websites really ultimately a lot of times will be your client's first impression. So that's why it's so important. It's kind of it's the catalyst, if you will, for the knowing, liking, and trusting. It's the catalyst for even your social media, your blog. It is kind of the hub, or it should be, for your business. It's their first impression. And we tell our sellers, for buyer's first impression, those 10 seconds. All right, so we're going to talk about that. And here's the thing I want you to be encouraged by. It takes at least 7 touches or contacts for a prospect to begin to know, like, and trust you. All right? And if you can automate as much of that to some degree as possible, and that's what's great about social media. People see your Facebook thing, they see what you said, they maybe get a newsletter from you. There's so many ways that you can touch them. Like Ginny said, talking about someone else, you've touched them. So trying to get to that magic number with all of your clients, that's the key, and trying to automate that by building that foundation, that catalyst that'll do that for you, will make it so it works 24/7 for you, and you're not always having to, do the basic, remember, we get paid according to our time. Time is money. So let's talk about that. So your websites, they'll automate that process, and it's really like a tool. It's like anything else. A tool in our toolbox, a hammer. And I sometimes will get this when people say, my website's not working for me. Well, it's like a hammer. Unless you're actively using it, working it, and I'm going to tell you how to do that, it won't work for you. I'll tell you. It's not an if you build it, they will come. It doesn't work. It doesn't work like that at all. So you need to actively be working it. So what does a website that works for your business look like? And I still worked on it, but it just didn't work. So I like the acronym thing. It really helps me to remember. So I'm going to talk about your 10 keys in this works kind of thing. So website image, we're going to talk about that. And I'm pretty much a stickler because I'm kind of like many of you, I've been in the internet kind of industry for a long time. I'm a little bit of a snob, but I'll tell you what clients like and what they don't. Optimize, we're going to talk a lot about that. And optimization leads to relationship, credibility, and then stats and metrics. So that's key number